have been lied to. You spent hours memorizing vocabulary lists, you burn the midnight oil studying grammar rules, and you watch endless movies with subtitles. Yet when a native speaker actually opens their mouth in real life, you hear nothing but noise. Why? Because you are listening for words that do not exist.
Precisely. You are hunting for ghosts. You are looking for clear, printed text in a world of melted sound. Today, we're not teaching you English. We're teaching you how to decode the secret signals that 99% of students miss.
Welcome to the Slow English channel. I'm Daisy, and today we have the legendary Professor Peter Hanson from New York joining us to reveal the 3 secret rules to hear every word. Peter, surely every word is an exaggeration.
It is not, Daisy. In fact, the problem is not that students have bad ears. The problem is that their brains have been trained to filter out the wrong information. In my 30 years of teaching at the university level in New York City, I've seen brilliant engineers, doctors, and writers from all over the world, people with PhDs, crumble when they try to order a simple bagel and coffee. They feel stupid. They feel small. But they're not stupid. They're simply tuned to the wrong frequency.
That's a powerful image, Peter. Tuned to the wrong frequency. It reminds me of trying to find a radio station in the car and only getting static. So before we give them the 3 rules, can you take us back to one of those moments in your career? You mentioned the bagel shop. Is there a specific story that comes to mind?
Absolutely. There are hundreds, but one stands out vividly. It was about 15 years ago. I had a student named Koji. Koji was from Japan, a brilliant architect. His written English was impeccable, better than mine, arguably. He knew words like ubiquitous and ephemeral.
Those are very advanced words. I bet many native speakers do not use them daily.
Exactly. But one rainy Tuesday morning in November, I remember the rain was hitting the classroom windows quite hard. Koji walked into my lecture hall looking absolutely defeated. He was soaking wet, holding a broken umbrella, and he looked like he was about to cry. I asked him, "Koji, my friend, what is the matter?" He threw his bag on the desk and said, "Professor, I'm quitting. I'm going home."
Oh no, that breaks my heart. What happened?
He told me he had gone to a deli, a small shop, to buy a sandwich. The man behind the counter asked him a question. Koji didn't understand. The man repeated it, faster. Koji froze. The man yelled, "Next!" and Koji ran away without his lunch. He felt so humiliated that he wanted to leave the country. I asked him, what did the man say? Koji said, it sounded like he said, "Jeetyet?"
Jeetyet? That does not sound like English at all. It sounds like an alien language.
Correct. Koji was looking for "Did you eat yet?" 4 distinct words, Didoueatyet. But the man in the deli said, "Jeetyet?" Koji's brain was searching for the grammar he studied in Tokyo, but the reality of New York streets gave him a sound he had never heard. That day, I sat Koji down and we threw away his grammar book. I told him we are going to study the music, not the lyrics.
That's such a crucial distinction, the music versus the lyrics. I think so many of our listeners are stuck analyzing the lyrics, the definitions, while the music flows right past them. So Koji's struggle leads us directly into our first secret rule, because Jeetyet is not just sloppy speaking, is it? It's a systematic feature of English.
It is the system. If you don't speak this way, you sound like a robot. If you don't listen for this, you hear nothing.
So let's open the vault. What is secret rule number 1?
Secret rule number 1 is the ghost vowel, the schwa.
The Schwa. It sounds like a monster from a horror movie. The Schwa.
It is a monster, Daisy. It eats all the other vowels. Here's the hard truth. In English, we are incredibly lazy. We hate making an effort with our mouths. If we can make a sound easier, short, and lazy, we will. The schwa is the sound It's the sound you make when someone punches you in the stomach lightly.
Ugh. Let me try that. Ugh. It's very relaxed. My jaw is loose. My tongue is doing nothing.
Perfect. You sound completely unmotivated. That's the key. Now, why does this matter? Because students are taught that the letter A sounds like A or ah. They're taught the letter O sounds like O. But in reality, in multisyllable words, almost all unstressed vowels turn into this sound.
Let's break this down slowly for our listeners. This is a concept that changes everything. Can we look at a specific word? A word that everyone knows, but everyone pronounces too perfectly.
Let's take the word for the sweet brown bar of candy. CHOCOLATE.
Chocolate.
Now, Daisy, you're British, so you have a certain elegance, but even you don't say choc-o-late.
No, I certainly do not say choc-o-late. 3 syllables. That sounds very strange.
Exactly. A student sees the letter O in the middle. They want to pronounce the O. They say choc-o-late. But a native speaker kills that middle vowel. It becomes a ghost. We say chocolate. 2 syllables.
Chocolate. Listen closely, everyone. Chocolate. The middle O has vanished. It's been eaten by the schwa, or rather, deleted entirely.
Let's try another one. This one drives my students crazy. The word for a healthy plant you eat. veg-ta-ble.
Oh, this is a classic trap. I hear students say veg-ta-ble all the time. 4 syllables. I like veg-tables.
It hurts my ears. It sounds so clunky. In New York, if you say, I would like some veg-tables, people think you're being sarcastic. We crush it. It's 3 syllables. Veg-ta-ble. The second E is dead.
Veg-ta-ble. Everyone, repeat after me. I will say it slowly, then fast. Veg-ta-ble. Vegetable. Peter, give us a sentence with this word, but I want you to say it with that fast, aggressive New York energy.
All right. Imagine I'm a waiter in a hurry. You want the chicken at a vegetable soup. Come on, I ain't got all day.
I felt the pressure there, but I heard it clearly. Veg-ta-ble soup. Now, Peter, this brings up an interesting point. We often have listeners ask about the difference between your American accent and my British accent. Does the schwa rule apply to both of us, or is this just an American laziness?
Oh, Daisy, don't pretend the British aren't lazy. You invented the language, but you also invented the shortcuts. However, the schwa behaves differently in our accents, especially with the letter R, but generally, the schwa is universal. However, there are words where we fundamentally disagree.
I think I know where you're going.
The metal. A-L-U-M-I-N-I-U-M.
I knew it. We spell it differently too. But let's talk about the sound. In the UK, we say aluminium, 5 syllables. It's rhythmic. Aluminium.
See, that sounds like a magic spell from Harry Potter. Aluminium leviosa. In America, we just say aluminum, 4 syllables. The stress is different. But look at the last syllable, num. It's a schwa. It's not noom or nam, it's num.
That's true. Even though we fight about the middle of the word, we agree on the lazy finish. Let's do a drill. This is a mentorship segment. Peter, I want to guide the listeners through a mindset shift here. Why is it emotionally difficult for them to use the schwa?
That's a profound question, Daisy. It's about identity. When you learn a language in school, you want to be correct. You want to get an A+. Pronouncing every letter feels like being a good student. It feels precise. It feels safe. Using the schwa, saying instead of o, feels like being a bad student. It feels sloppy.
Sloppy, yes. They feel like they're making a mistake.
Correct. So my advice to you listening right now is this. You must give yourself permission to be sloppy. Perfection in language is not about perfectly pronouncing every letter. Perfection is rhythm. You have to let go of the control. It's a psychological surrender. You're not losing your intelligence,
You are gaining flow.
Psychological surrender. I love that. You have to trust the flow. Let's practice this surrender with one more very common word before we move to Rule 2. The word is comfortable.
A nightmare word for beginners. comfortable. If you read it, it looks like bull. 4 syllables.
I hear comfortable so often. It sounds very stiff. This chair is not comfortable.
In American English, we engage the schwa and the stress. It becomes 3 syllables. Comfortable. Sometimes even 2.5. Comfortable.
In London, we are quite similar. Comfortable. Are you comfortable?
Listeners, try that. Don't say the O. Don't say the R. Just comfortable.
Let's drill it. I will say it in 3 emotions. I want you to repeat after me. First, happy and relaxed. I'm so comfortable. Now, annoyed and questioning. Are you comfortable yet? Now, Peter, give them a sarcastic version.
Oh, sure, I'm sleeping on a rock. I'm very comfortable.
Brilliant. So, rule number 1 is the schwa. Stop reading the vowels. Start feeling the Now, Peter, we must move to secret rule number 2. This is what you alluded to with your student, Koji.
Yes, secret rule number 2 is connected speech, or, as I like to call it, the river of sound.
The river of sound. Explain that metaphor.
Imagine a row of bricks. Each brick is a word. If you put them next to each other, there are gaps in between. That is how students speak. Brick, gap, brick, gap. I am going to the store.
It is very robotic.
Native speakers do not use bricks. We use water. The words melt into each other. The end of one word flows directly into the beginning of the next. There are no gaps. This is why you cannot hear where one word ends and the next begins.
And this has specific mechanical rules, doesn't it? It's not just random. There's a method to the madness.
Absolutely. There are 3 main ways we link words, but the most important one for today is consonant to vowel linking.
Consonant to vowel. Okay, let me play the role of the student. I have the phrase, turn it on.
Okay, turn ends with an N. That is a consonant. It begins with an I. That is a vowel. In your brain, they're separate. In my mouth, the N moves over. It becomes turn it.
Turn it. It sounds like a new word.
Exactly. And then it ends with a T. On begins with an O, so the T moves over. The whole phrase becomes turn it ton.
Turn it ton. It sounds like the name of a robot. Hello, I am Turn It Ton.
It does. And this is why listeners panic. They hear turn a ton and they think, I don't know that vocabulary word, but it's just 3 simple words linked together.
Let's take a more complex example, something very American. What about get out of here?
Oh, that is a New York classic. If you're angry or if you're surprised, get out of here. 4 words.
Let's break down the linking. Get ends in T. Out begins in O.
But here is the American twist. When a T is between two vowels, it becomes a soft D. So get out becomes ged out.
Ged out. Okay, then out ends in T and of begins in O.
Same rule, soft D. Ud of. So now we have ged ud of.
And finally, of and here.
Now, usually H is a weak sound. We often drop it. So of here becomes of ear. Put it all together, get out of here.
Geddoudaheer. It sounds like Italian. Get out of here.
It really does. Imagine someone tells you they won the lottery. You don't say, please get out of here. You scream, get out of here. No way.
This is a perfect example of why listening is so hard. The written form, get out of here, looks nothing like the sonic form, get out of here. Peter, I want to challenge you. Is this just slang? Is this just uneducated street talk? Because I have students who tell me I want to speak properly, like the Queen.
That is a dangerous trap. Listen to me closely. This is not slang. This is not street talk. This is physics. It is the physics of speaking at normal speed. Even the President of the United States connects his speech. Even the Queen, well, the King now, connects his speech. If you try to separate every word, you will not sound proper. You will sound like a GPS navigation system from 1999.
Turn left at the corner.
Exactly. It creates distance. If you want to connect with people emotionally, you must use connected speech. It signals that you are fluent and comfortable.
Let's do a drill on this. I want to look at a phrase that's very common in business. Talk it over, meaning to discuss something.
Good choice. Talk it over.
Breakdown. Talk ends in K. It begins in I.
Link it, talk it.
It ends in T, and over begins in O.
Link it with a flap T, American style, id over.
So together, tall kid over.
Tall kid over.
We need to talk it over. Listeners, try that. Imagine you're in a boardroom. You're serious. Repeat after me. Talk it over. Pause. Peter, give us a context for this.
Look, I can't decide right now. Let's grab a coffee and talk it over.
Perfect. Now, Peter, I want to address the British variation here because we don't always use that soft D sound for the T. In London, we might use a glottal stop.
Ah, the famous glottal stop. Please demonstrate.
So for get out of here, a Londoner might swallow the T sounds. Get out of here. It sounds a bit more clipped, but we still link, we still flow. The principle is the same. No gaps.
That is the takeaway. Whether you sound like you're from Brooklyn or Brixton, you must eliminate the silence between words. Silence is the enemy of fluency.
Silence is the enemy of fluency. I'm writing that down. Okay, we have the ghost vowel, schwa, river of sound, connected speech. Now we need the third secret. This one, I believe, is the heartbeat of the language.
It is the heartbeat. Secret rule number 3, the rhythm of stress.
Now, Peter, this is where students get very confused. They come from languages like Spanish or French or Japanese, which are syllable-timed languages. Can you explain the difference without getting too academic?
I will try. Imagine a machine gun. Rat-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Every bullet comes out at the exact same speed. That is a syllable-timed language like Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Each syllable gets the same amount of time. Tick, 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 tick.
Right, it's very even.
English is not a machine gun. English is Morse code. It's short sounds and long sounds. We are a stress-timed language. This means some parts of the sentence are long and loud, and other parts are super fast and quiet.
The telegraph analogy, I love this one.
Imagine you're sending a telegram in 1920. Every word costs $10. You don't want to pay for unnecessary words. You only pay for the content words.
Content words, these are the nouns, the main verbs, the adjectives, the words that carry the picture.
Exactly. Dog, run, fast. Those are the picture words. The other words, the grammar words like the, is, at, to, can, these are function words. In English, we crush the function words and we shout the content words.
So a student sees the sentence, the dog is running to the park.
A Spanish speaker might say, the dog is running to the park, all flat. A native speaker says, the dog is running to the park. Da da, da da da, da da da.
It really is music. It's waltz time. Da 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 da.
If you speak with flat rhythm, native speakers stop listening. Their brains are wired to listen for the peaks, the loud moments. If everything is loud, nothing is important.
This explains why listeners miss the small words. They tell me, Daisy, I never hear the word can or can't.
Oh, the can versus can't tragedy. This causes so many misunderstandings. Let's break that down. This is vital. How do we distinguish I can do it versus I can't do it just by rhythm?
This is a masterclass trick. Listen closely. In the positive sentence, I can go.
The word can is a function word. It is grammar. So we reduce it. It becomes a schwa. It sounds like can. I can go.
I can go. It is so fast, it is barely there.
But in the negative, I can't go. The word can't is negative. Negatives are important. They are content words, so we stress it. We make it long and loud. And, confusingly, in American English, we often don't release the T at the end. We just stop the air. I can't go.
So the difference is not the T sound. The difference is the length and the vowel quality. Positive, I can go. Short, weak. Negative, I can't go. Long, strong.
Exactly. If you say, I can go, and you pronounce the can clearly, I can go, I will think you are contradicting me. Me, you can't go. You, no, I can go. But if you are just making a statement, you must reduce it. I can go.
That is mind-blowing for many people. They're listening for a T sound that isn't there, instead of listening for the rhythm.
Rhythm is meaning. Rhythm is grammar. If you miss the rhythm, you miss the message.
Let's do a rhythm drill. I want to use a famous movie line, or a variation of it. I am going to make him an offer he cannot refuse.
Okay, that's The Godfather. Very New York. Let's identify the content words. Make, offer, refuse.
And the function words? I am going to him, an, he, cannot. Wait, cannot is negative, so that is strong.
Right. So it sounds like this. I'ma make him an offer he can't refuse.
Listen to how Peter crushed I am going to into I'ma.
That is the ultimate reduction. I am going to, I'ma make him. Drop the H in him. An offer.
I'ma make him an offer. Listeners, I want you to try to copy Peter's rhythm. Do not read the words in your head. Just hum the music first. Da 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 da. I'ma make him an offer.
If you can feel that beat, you can understand the sentence even in a noisy subway station.
Peter, we have covered the 3 secrets: the schwa, connected speech, and rhythm, but I feel we need to take a step back. We have about 10 minutes left, and I want to enter a deep mentorship segment. We have given them the tools, but why do students still fail? Why, after hearing this podcast, will some people go back to their old habits tomorrow?
This is the hardest part of my job. It is not the linguistics, it is the psychology of fear. You see, Daisy, speaking a foreign language is an act of bravery. It's an act of vulnerability. When you speak English with all these reductions, get out of here, wanna, gonna, you feel like you're losing your dignity. You feel like a child. And the brain hates that. The ego hates that. The ego wants to say, I am intelligent. I will pronounce every letter so they know I'm educated.
So by trying to sound educated, they actually sound foreign and difficult to understand. It's a paradox.
It is the ultimate paradox. To be understood, you must risk sounding stupid to your own ears. You have to let go of the textbook that has been your safety blanket for 10 years. I had a student, Maria. She was Spanish. She refused to link words. She said, Peter, I refuse to say wanna. It is not proper. I told her, Maria, you are not judging the language, you are using it. It took her 2 years to finally relax. The day she came in and said, Hey, Peter, what do you think of this? I almost cried. Not because the grammar was good, but because she finally allowed herself to be part of the culture.
She stopped observing the culture and started participating in it.
Yes. And for our listeners, I want to say this. You are not just learning English. You are building a new version of yourself, the English you. The English you is louder. The English you interrupts sometimes. The English you uses the schwa. Do not let the native language you judge the English you. They are two different people. Let the English you play. Let him or her make mistakes. Let them sound messy. Messy is good. Messy is real.
Messy is real. I think that's the headline of this episode. Peter, I want to ask you about the physical aspect of this. We talked about psychology, but what about the mouth? My students often say their mouth hurts when they try to speak like a native.
Good. If your mouth hurts, you're doing it right. Look, speaking is a sport. It's muscle memory. If you play tennis, your arm hurts. If you speak English, your mouth should hurt because you're using muscles you never used in your native language. For example, the American R, it requires you to pull your tongue back into a ball. In many languages, the tongue touches the teeth. In English, the tongue never touches anything for the R. It floats. That takes muscle strength.
And the British vowels, we round our lips a lot more for sounds like O, no, I don't know. My lips are moving forward.
Exactly. So here's a practical drill for the muscles. It's called the over-exaggeration drill. I want you to take a sentence, and I want you to say it with 200% energy. Move your mouth twice as much as normal. Look like a crazy person in the mirror.
Daisy, let's use the sentence, why are you waiting for him?
Okay, normal speed, why you waiting for him? Exaggerated exercise, why are you waiting for him? Stretch your jaw, push your lips out.
I'm doing it right now and I look ridiculous. Why are you...
You look like a fish, but this wakes up the muscles. If you do this for 2 minutes a day, when you go back to normal speaking, it will feel easy. It's like a baseball player swinging a heavy bat before he steps up to the plate. When he picks up the normal bat, it feels like a light feather.
That's a fantastic tip, the heavy bat method. Peter, we have a few minutes left. I want to do a final rapid-fire round. I'm going to say a textbook phrase that our listeners might have in their heads. I want you to translate it into real-world spoken English using our 3 rules. Are you ready?
I was born ready. Hit me.
Phrase number 1. What are you going to do?
Real world, whatcha gonna do? Whatcha is what are you, gonna is going to.
Phrase number 2. I do not know.
Real world, I don't know.
Phrase number 3. Did you have a good time?
Real world, did you have a good time?
Phrase number 4. I have got to go.
Real world, I gotta go.
Phrase number 5. Let me in.
Real world, let me in. Let me is let me.
It's amazing. When you see them side by side, it really is 2 different languages. Peter, before we close, I want to address the listener who feels overwhelmed right now. They're thinking, I will never remember all these rules. Schwa, linking, stress, it's too much.
Forget the rules.
Excuse me?
Forget the rules. I know we just spent 40 minutes teaching them, but you can't think about rules while you're speaking. You can't calculate consonant plus vowel while you're ordering a coffee. You'll freeze. The rules are for practice time. When you're alone, analyze the audio, mark the stresses, circle the links. But when you step out the door, just listen to the melody, copy the melody. Don't ask why there's a schwa, just mimic the sound. Be a parrot. Children do not learn grammar rules. They mimic the music of their parents. Be a child again.
Be a child again. That requires humility.
It does, but the reward is connection, and that's why we're here. We don't learn English to pass a test. We learn English to connect with human beings, to understand their jokes, their stories, their pain. If you focus on the connection, the listening will come.
Peter, this has been an absolute masterclass. Thank you for bringing your 30 years of wisdom from New York to our studio.
It was my pleasure, Daisy. And to the listeners, don't give up. The moment you feel like quitting, like Koji in the rain, that's the moment you're about to break through. Go out there and make some noise.
You heard the professor. Go make some noise. Be messy, be brave. This is Daisy and Professor Peter Hanson, signing off from the Slow English Channel. See you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Wait, are we clear? Recording stopped?
Whew, I think so. Intense.
You were brilliant, Peter. That Jeetyet story is gold. I think that will really resonate.
I hope so. It's the truth. We torture these poor students with present perfect continuous tense, and then we don't tell them how to say coffee. It's criminal.
It really is. I would like a cup of coffee, please. No one says that.
Give me a coffee. That's all you need.
Well, let's go get one. I'm parched.
After you.
Thanks.